Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. And just a couple of announcements. First of all, at the end of February, I think it's the last week in February, I'm teaching a women's health boot camp. It's a Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon session. I'm going to cover everything from the effect of diet on hormones, hormones throughout the life cycle, screening tests, cervical cancer, breast cancer, fibrocystic breasts and dense breasts, and everything to do with women's health. And we're going to have a special section on weight gain throughout the reproductive cycle of women. In other words, there's weight gain associated with pregnancy and with menopause and all this sort of thing. So anyway, if you're interested in that program, because I'm only going to do it one time and we're only going to have 25 people. I said that last year, and I ended up doing 2 of them. So we'll see what happens. But I only want to do it one time, 25 people on Zoom, so we can all talk to each other. And if you're in a time zone where it doesn't work out, we'll record it. You'll have access to the recording and all that stuff. But call Kelly Sherman in the office at 614-841-7700. And she can talk to you about how to participate in this. It's a little more complex than just sign up. But anyway, call Kelly and talk to her about it. I think we have 4 or 5. I just started announcing it. So well, I know we'll fill it up. This is a topic that a lot of people want to know about. The other thing that I'll mention is Thursday, February 10th at 9 p.m. is the next conference call for healthcare workers who are trying to figure out what they want to be when they grow up in view of the changing landscape for healthcare out there. So anyway, if you're interested in knowing more about that, it's free. Send me an email at pampopper@msn.com, and I'll be happy to sign you up for that. It's free. All you have to do is let me know that you want to do it. And I provide slides so that all the stuff that we talk about, you don't have to try to write it all down. You'll have it all in a nice presentation form. And then last but not least, one of the things that somebody asked me the other day is, are you stocking up on food and all this kind of stuff? And I'm not big on doing that, but I guess I was looking around at Wellness Forum. We have all of these dry mixes that like 40 of them, I think. And it's everything from cereals to cake mixes to bread mixes to soup mixes to casserole mixes and all this kind of stuff. And I could live forever on that food. It stores almost indefinitely. So that's something you might want to take a look at if you're trying to plan for the future. All right, so today's topic, all right, I'm going to start with some statements that we all agree about, all right? Exercise is good for you. More is better. Most people feel better after they exercise, and they particularly feel better if they do it on a regular basis. Now, having said all that, in spite of this, one of the biggest challenges I face in my business is getting people to exercise regularly and to push themselves hard enough for it to make a real difference in their health. Because, you can stroll through the neighborhood, and I think one of the things I'm talking about a lot these days is the difference between better than nothing and moving you toward better health. Those are 2 different things, right? So I'm going to hope to entice you today a little bit with the information I'm sharing today to do more exercise if you're already doing it, or to start to get moving if you're not doing much or anything at all. So we've all heard of runner's high, that fabulous feeling that follows a run that some people refer to even as euphoria. Now, some of you may have tried running and you think, I can't imagine anybody getting a high off of this because it was miserable. And that's what I thought the first time that I ran, but now I can't imagine not running, okay? People are not imagining this. It may not happen to you the first time you run, but trust me, almost everybody who runs on a regular basis says that they experience this. Research shows that exercise, including running, is beneficial for mental health. It reduces anxiety and depression, and it improves mood. And exercise increases blood levels of endorphins, a natural opioid produced by the body. So for a long time, scientists thought that increased endorphin production as a result of running was the cause of runner's high. And it does contribute, and there's no question about it. But the problem with the endorphin theory having full responsibility for the effect is that endorphins can't cross the blood-brain barrier. So it's not likely that they're really responsible for that great after-run feeling. Newer research has shown that it's likely endocannabinoids that are causing runner's high or contributing to it. So endocannabinoids are the body's version of cannabinoids, one of which is THC, the psychoactive compound in cannabis, And another is cannabidiol, or CBD, an extract of cannabis that's marketed as a supplement, and tinctures and all that sort of thing. Well, anyway, endocannabinoids produced by the body dock onto cannabinoid receptors throughout the brain and body, and they contribute to things like pain relief. They reduce anxiety and stress. They can also enhance learning and memory, reduce inflammation, and improve immune function. And exercise causes your body to produce more of them. A systematic review and meta-analysis of 33 studies looking at the impact of endocannabinoids resulting from exercise showed that acute exercise, meaning like a single 30-minute run, consistently increased endocannabinoid levels. The effects were most consistent for one called anandamide, which is sometimes referred to as the bliss molecule, named for its positive effect on mood. Now, some of you might be thinking, the last thing I think about when I'm running is bliss. But again, if you can get past the initial not liking it, which I had to do too, you might be very surprised at how much you do like it and how much you end up feeling pretty great at the end of a run. Well, anyway, the effect was consistent for a lot of types of exercise: running, swimming, weightlifting. And it was also the same for people who were really healthy and then people who also had some pre-existing conditions. So everybody benefits from exercise and increased endocannabinoid production. Moderate exercise, like running or cycling, was shown to be more effective for raising levels of endocannabinoids than lower intensity exercise, like walking. In other words, more effort is better if you really want to increase your levels of these marvelous chemicals that make you feel a whole lot better. The bottom line is that exercise affects the body and brain, and you can affect your mood and your anxiety and your stress levels. It's not only important for general health, but it is really important these days with all of the stress that people are living through right now. I have talked a lot in these videos and in my classes about the number of people who are drinking too much and eating too much junk food, and they're doing it to comfort themselves. And people have gotten out of their routines, including their exercise routines. And so rather than drink wine, and I like wine too, but it's just not the best way to comfort yourself during troubled times, right? But rather than drinking and rather than eating chocolate and potato chips or whatever it is that you tend to indulge in when you're feeling blue and bored or confined or whatever it is that you're feeling out there, exercise is a great thing. And of course, in the wintertime, when the wind chill gets to 68 degrees, I'm inside. I'm not an outdoor runner. But treadmill running, you could do this on an exercise bike if you just really don't want to run. But one little tip I'll give you is I used to hate treadmill running. I'm a real disciplined person, so I was able to make myself do it because I'm disciplined, right? But having said that, I didn't used to love it. But I'll tell you how I now love indoor treadmill running. And I run for like an hour at a time, 45 minutes to an hour every time. I started watching series on Netflix, the stuff that was on television that now is on Netflix. And I let myself watch stuff that has no redeeming value. So all day long, I watch documentaries, and I read books that are important for my field and all that kind of stuff. And to get on the treadmill, I just let myself watch I call it brain candy, visual brain candy. And now I look forward to it. And I used to, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I used to get on the treadmill and I'd say, I'm going to do this for 45 minutes. And then it would get to be 25. And I'd think, I'm so bored, maybe I'll do it just for 30. Well, now that I'm doing this, and I started a few years ago, I never stop in the middle of an episode because I want to see what happens, right? And I've even found myself sometimes saying, gosh, I wonder if I have enough time to squeeze in another episode, another 45 minutes, because the next episode is, it's these mysteries and that kind of stuff that I watch. So I've taken something that used to be hateful and turned it into something I look forward to. And that might help you too. But the bottom line is, whatever it is that you do, I mean, mine is watching brain candy on my phone or tablet. Yours might be something else. But whatever it is that you do, get to doing it for exercise. You really, like I said, it's always a good idea. Right now, it's probably even a better idea because of what we're all going through in terms of stress and disruption and that kind of thing. All right, that's it for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I will be back to you tomorrow with more news.